Good evening, folks. Thank you for joining us. Would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Toby, can we get a roll call, please?
Let me find it here. Hold on. Tom Roche, of course. Anita Tripp.
Here.
Todd Tyler.
Here.
Joe Carroll.
Here.
Chris Miles.
So Chris sent a message ahead. He's not going to be able to make it this evening.
Okay. Ella Collins. Here. James Donahue.
Here.
Christina Durkee.
Here.
And Dan Shields.
And Dan also sent a message to me saying he would likely not be able to make it this evening. So if they come in, we'll mark them in at that time.
Okay.
I'm going to be heading out here in about 10 minutes as well. Just I have practice with my girls.
Excellent. Will you just, when you go, Christina, will you just let us know when it is so we can mark it down appropriately?
Sure. Absolutely. Yep.
We're still good for quorum. Yeah, okay, we're good. Okay. Toby, do you have any community comments?
No one has reached out to me, and yes, Amanda Durkee. She has one question.
Okay. Ms. Durkee, we'll recognize you.
I think this is a question for Dan, possibly. Just wondering how many Board of Ed seats will be vacant this year and what the process is at this point. I think I heard there has to be 75 signatures maybe. So if you could go through that process, that would be good, if possible.
I should unmute. So Toby is on. I believe there's one seat up this year, and Toby, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's right. One seat. It's
And
Todd
so-
Tyler.
That's me.
And so actually, so Todd's seat is up this year. And so Amanda, actually today, the governor signed something in the law that affects the number of signatures needed for a board seat. And the reason being is that previously it's predicated on the number of votes that were cast in the last election. And because the number of votes cast in the last election for school boards was incredibly high due to the number of ballots that had to be mailed out, there's a statute that's been passed that allows it to be based on the 2019 election. So Toby's going to have to take some, and this, I just read this at like 5 o'clock this evening. So Toby's going to have to take some time and have a conversation with our council, probably Chris Chan and Gervin and Ferlazzo, and get that number of actual signatures needed. But it's going to be based on the 2019 election. I'll call it the last normal election we had prior to the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will.
So the same with the petition process. She's going to have that conversation about the petitions and get that information out to everybody. So if you want to follow up with Toby, but as soon as we have it all, and Toby, can we try to get that maybe by next week so we can put it out on our website about how to run for a board seat and what's needed and
Definitely.
how to get that would be good.
Yep, I will get it out.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then I guess just one clarifying question. I thought that one of the positions that was appointed last year was to finish out only 1 year left. It was like a 1 year term left in a vacated seat. So maybe just.
I don't have my paper. I don't have that with me at home, but I will definitely have that Thursday. If you want to call the office, I can get that information to you.
Okay, wonderful. And you're the best point person, Toby?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so Toby controls, she controls the petitions for board as well as the entire election process as the clerk of the board.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to recognition of successes. Best part of the meeting.
Yeah, we've got a couple best parts tonight, to be honest. So we've got two groups this evening. And normally Mr. Galarno would probably take part in this part because they are young people that he's spent a lot of time with since he started here. But he is covering the basketball game tonight, so we're all kind of moving in different directions to make things happen for our kids. We've got two groups that we're recognizing this evening. The first of those groups are the new National Honor Society inductees. And as you had heard in the previous meeting, we did do an induction ceremony thanks to Ryan Herman and Joanna Scotch, our advisors, for putting that on along with Mr. Galarno, and certainly the officers and the standing members of the National Honor Society for putting that on. Unfortunately, we couldn't have any parents be there or grandparents. Our hope would be that if things change in the world prior to the end of the school year, we could have something where we had families where these students are recognized. But we did provide it inside the auditorium and provided a link to that on our social media and website so people could watch the induction ceremony that was held in the auditorium. So we want to recognize our new members, and we do have certificates for all of them, and we'll get them to the students when we're able to. But I want to recognize Kathleen Hunt, a new inductee. Congratulations, Kathleen. Brandon Hunt, congratulations, Brandon. He's in the middle of a basketball game right now, so I know he's not on the meeting this evening. Congratulations to Linnell Colvin as well. Congratulations to Abigail Newell. And congratulations to Sophia White, that rounds out our new National Honor Society inductees, and we'll get them their certificates. So congratulations. That is a ton of work, and I really do appreciate all that they've done in their time here at Fort Edward. The other is a group of student athletes, and oftentimes we don't do a lot with student athletes at board meetings because there's a lot of recognition for student athletes in normal years. That is not the case this year. There's very little publicity of our events, although I think we did a decent job on our website and on our social media talking about bowling. I want to congratulate Mr. Chase on an Adirondack League championship, and I also want to thank him for his hard work. He's the bowling coordinator for the entire Adirondack League. He put a lot of work into scheduling and rescheduling and working on virtual matches for everybody. So thank you to Nelson for all that on behalf of our school and on behalf of the Adirondack League. We have student athletes we'd like to recognize as part of that undefeated 48-0 season and Adirondack League champions. So we'd like to recognize Andrew Fish as part of that team, Mark Humphreys as part of that team, Bretton Delisle as part of that team, Edward Amell as part of that team, Christopher Yasko as part of that team, Isaac Virtue, Dylan Perkins, Felicity Columbetti, Eva Stewart, Connor Curry, and last but certainly not least, Emily Cutler. Again, the bowling dynasty in Fort Edward carries on for another year. So congratulations to all those students, and congratulations to the coach.
I just wanted to say congratulations, and I'm gonna head out now. Dan.
Thank you, Christina.
Yeah, and then Mr. Chase, thank you very much. That program has been fantastic for such a long time, and great kids and great instruction there by Mr. Chase. So congratulations to everyone.
And I'm going to add.
I just wanted to add, it has a lot to do with what he does with the youth. A lot of these bowlers start at 5-6 years old on Saturday mornings, and he works them all the way up through. So he does a great job with our youth program as well.
And Nelson beat me to it in the chat there, but also wanted to put one more shout out. There'll be several more probably this year to our Booster Club and all the people that help make the Booster Club's fundraising activities successful. Without it, that program would not have occurred, nor would any other ones that are going on right now. So thanks to everybody who had some part in that. We really do appreciate it.
All right, next up, we got a bunch of rebel rousers that want to make their case known to the board. So let's see how this goes.
Yes. So the senior, we've got some of the senior class officers on, as well as the senior advisors on, and a lot of questions from people to me about what's going on with the seniors. And there's a lot going on with the seniors, but not necessarily does the public or the board hear about all those conversations. So we thought the best way to do this is to invite them to come and talk directly to you folks about what's going on. I'm pretty sure that there's the spokesperson, one of the people right there. I think that'll be the main speaker, Heather. But I know I saw a couple of other senior officers on, as well as the advisors. So I'll turn it over to you, Heather, to talk about what's going on with the senior class as we push into the final quarter of your senior year here at the fort.
Okay, hi. Thank you for taking your time to listen to us. Obviously with COVID, we've been pushing everything back until last minute, hoping that we can do something with a little normal, I guess. But our main thing is that we're trying to have a senior ball. It would be June 5th. It's a Saturday. And we would decorate the gym on Friday, like during school, like how you would normally do it. And coronation or grand march, whatever you would call it, would be outside, either on the front lawn or somewhere with the track or something, so parents can be in attendance, like COVID, like 6 feet apart and stuff like that. And along with the senior ball, we're trying to plan something for maybe a senior trip. Obviously, it might not be overnight because of COVID, but we're hoping to do maybe a couple day trips around just to have something at least. So yeah, right now that is what we have so far.
It sounds good. I mean, hopefully as we go along the year, you guys are going to get some type of reprieve, and with the numbers going down and things like that, hopefully things start to change. But you guys have probably suffered the worst, right? I mean, last year, at least they had a semblance of a year. Thank goodness they were able to get their prom in right in junior year, and then they were okay up until March, and then everything went crazy. You guys have been, dealing with this for a long time, so you deserve everything you're asking for and more. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it and just make sure. I know you got a lot of support in the community that's going to help you guys out as well, but I'll let Mr. Board speak more about that stuff.
I want to echo those sentiments. You guys absolutely deserve something. I was thinking about you guys the other night and how you went through half of your junior year and almost all of your senior year, and you guys deserve something. Absolutely.
I appreciate the optimism and the positive attitude. That's the good thing. You guys keep smiling and you keep rolling through it. So I'm supportive of anything you guys want to do within reason. So thanks, Heather.
So I know Heather, you were kind of going to be the spokesperson, but I saw Mariah's picture pop up, and I'm pretty sure I saw Aaron. Yep, I see Aaron on there. Aaron, and I see Caroline on there too.
We're all here.
Do any of the other officers want to say something, or Lori, do you have anything to add?
Just that we are in the middle of our fundraiser. So, hey, if you guys want to help us out, we're really pushing. Heather was going to put that in the chat so you guys all have the address so that you can do it all online, because we're pushing to do it all virtual. So
gotcha. Great.
Yeah, and there's been some. So Heather's here and does a internship in the guidance office. So the guidance office, as you know, is attached to the principal's office. So she spends a lot of time pushing out ideas about things to Mr. Glarno and Mrs. Scotch. And I'm sure that some of those ideas are coming from the other officers and her classmates. But we're hoping to be able to do some smaller things here at school as well as the year moves along. But we can't keep pushing it back any further. We've got to make some plans, and not that hope is the best strategy, but we're going to make some plans with the hope that we're going to be able to make it happen when the time comes. And that June 5th is one of those things that we want to get planned. In a trip, there's some specific venues that are going to be made available to us, at least one made available to us for at least a day trip, someplace fun for the seniors as a group. And I'll share more about that later on.
You can't get any more specific about that one, Dan?
I'm not going to get any more specifics about that, but I think it will be a nice day with the group together, someplace where they could have some fun outdoors. So we'll see. But we're open to anything. I tried to talk some seniors into a ping pong tournament versus the staff today. At least the people I was talking to, they must be not good ping pong players. But even things
That's a great idea.
I think that would be fun. Norman says that's a great idea.
We'll do
Most are not good ping pong players. I can vouch for that. We have one down the park, and some are unimpressive, to say the least. But
Caroline, you want to make a comment too? I heard you say. I see your pictures up.
I said we will definitely do a badminton tournament, though. We're really good at that in gym class, so just throwing that one out there.
There you
All
go.
right. I wrote down badminton. I even spelled it right with the extra letter in there that you don't sound out.
Sounds like a challenge to me.
Yeah. So we'd like to do some things like that, but the big events, the senior ball, more to come on that. And I would echo what the board members have said. If we can make it happen, we'll make it happen. And I want to say that I think the group overall has been very good about being reasonable about what they're asking for, despite being through a lot of challenges in the last 12 months.
Heather, if you want to get advertisement out, get your information to me. I'm an administrator through a couple of those Facebook pages. I got over 2,000 people on them. The whatever page, the right page. So if you want to publicize something, get it to me. I'll get it out there. We'll help you out.
I was just about to post the link, but it's not working for me. I don't know if it's because I'm in the school, so I might be blocked from it, but I will definitely get that to you.
Okay, thanks, Heather. I'll help you out.
Awesome. Anything else from the seniors? Any questions from the board for the seniors?
No,
Awesome.
I think that was pretty much it.
Thanks, seniors. We appreciate you coming out. If you want to stay on for the whole meeting, feel free. If you have something else you need to do tonight, feel free to do that as well. But it's good to see some people on the screen. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Have a good one. Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right, let's go down to reports. We had our finance committee prior to the meeting. It was recorded, like Dan said, if anyone wants to peek in there. We did get a little view of the tax stuff, and we're looking a little bit better for the end of the year than we did certainly in November. So, and Charlie's been doing a lot of great work on reports, folks. So that's all in your board packets. So feel free to review that stuff. And our next finance committee meeting is that listed on there? March 15th, next Monday. Dan, anything else to add? I know it says you have a doodle out for the policy committee. You're on mute, sir.
Sorry. I put the agenda up so we have it. There is one thing I had to update today. So there is one piece of action that's not on the agenda, but I'll show that as we get there. Yeah, so the doodle hasn't been sent, but I will. At the last meeting, we had talked about getting those policies out. There's five policies that Toby has typed up for the committee, and we're going to get a meeting together prior to the next board meeting. I'm going to try to look at next week or early the week after, and I'll send those dates and times out by doodle, and that way we can keep up with those policies as we're moving forward. So that'll be the way that we'll continue to try to work it. After that, there was no other committee meetings. Athletic committee will likely try to meet as spring sports get started, which would be the beginning of May, to talk about next year. And that kind of all rolls into where we end up budget-wise for things.
Okay. And next up, Mr. Ward.
Yeah, so as you know, there was two merger annexation study meetings of the committee. There was the 22nd of February, and then we had to have an additional meeting because we were running long. We wanted to make sure that the focus groups or the breakout groups had time to talk and respond in public back to each other about concerns and questions and information that was still needed to finish out the study. And so that was the last committee meeting where we're talking about questions and such. The next committee meeting, and that's Monday, April 12th, is to see the draft report as produced by the consultants. So just put that date in your mind. It's one of the dates we announced way back at the beginning of the year. So wanted to have that information there for everyone to see, and make sure we mention it at our public board meeting. It's very important, as we all know. Advocacy Lobby Day. So I spent almost the entirety of last Friday on Zoom meetings with legislators, as well as the Division of Budget, Senate Finance Committee, all of those critical individuals and groups that have say and can help us with our school budget and for all the schools in our area. But certainly I talk about the Fort Edward situation. That's priority one for me, although I do work hard in that group on the Advocacy Committee for all the school districts in our area. For example, one of the items that we're working on and we have to do every year, and we talked about it before, the small group health insurance legislation that expires this year. We're asking for a more permanent fix or a multi-year fix. And here's why it's so important. It's important because in order to have good employees, you have to have decent benefits, right, with good health insurance. And we have good health insurance for our employees. But as we are a district that has less than 100 FTE employees, if New York State doesn't do something different with the legislation they've passed previously, where anybody under 100 is out of the consortium, that creates a problem for small school districts like Fort Edward. It creates a problem that's about $350,000 difference in what it would cost for us to provide our health insurance to our employees. And people who are doing the math know that's about 11.5% on our levy. So it's very important that our legislators hear from us, and they're on board. Carrie Warner's introducing a bill that's going to fix this at least for several years, if not permanently. Her fix is permanent. We're not sure that we're going to get there with that legislation, but that's what she's trying to do. That's what she's introducing. And it also hurts the bigger schools, because if the smaller schools drop out of the consortium, you have less total members, right? Which means you have less total buying power, which means even their rates within the consortium could go up. And I know that Ella has spoken about her previous district before and how they were outside the consortium. But right now, we're doing pretty well in the consortium, especially with all of our units moving over to the PPO with HRA last year. We're seeing a nice flattening of our health insurance premium increases, where the old PPO we were on, you were seeing double the increases of all the other plans because of the cost of that program. So just wanted to say that advocacy continues for Fort Edward School and for our region, and I'm a part of both of that. And we have a really good group that's got the ear of quite a few people. So I feel pretty confident that something's going to happen with small group health insurance, and us being extended to remain in that consortium. Moving on to athletics, and again, in a normal year, we're not updating athletics this way. We do it in an athletic committee meeting and then have the committee report out, but things change so quickly this year with everything. But just basketball is up and running. Believe it or not, I'm saying that today, and the season will end on Saturday. So far, so good. It's been successful. We are one of the 3 teams in Washington County in the Adirondack League that have gyms. So we're playing all of our games home, and we are playing gracious host to every school. We're announcing every player every night, and we're recognizing the seniors from our school and the seniors from every other school each night when we have a game, because we know nobody's going to have a senior night. If you get a chance to watch at the beginning, we line everybody up at center court. They all step forward. They all raise their hand. So the parents who are at home that can't see the games at least get to see their child on the court once every game. For what it's worth in replacing the senior night. For our own students here at Fort Edward, we did have an opportunity for parents to come in prior to games to an area not in our gymnasium where we would have visiting students coming to take some photographs. And we'll do the same for volleyball when it comes, as long as the world is still in the same situation where we're allowed to do so.
Hey, Dan, can I say, having watched the live streams, it's really pretty good considering how quickly you had to put things together and set the whole system up and get it to work. It's pretty good. I've watched others, and ours is a little bit better. So you guys are doing a nice job that way. So it's nice to be able to turn it on in your living room and watch the game and actually have some sort of quality. So tell Ryan, whoever's doing the job, thanks.
Yeah, so we had some help setting it up from our IT, and certainly we consulted with Ryan. But I need to give a huge shout out to Lorinda Huntington, because she's running the camera and the laptop. I'm doing the announcing, and we're just trying to make it as special for kids as we can, and make sure our families can, and the families of our visiting schools can play along. But I want to give Lorinda a ton of credit. A lot of work goes into making this happen, and without her being able to be at the game tonight and John having to take over, it took both of us, John and I, to get it up and running, what she does on her own. So 2 guys to replace 1 young lady who does a fantastic job tonight. Football and volleyball started today at the varsity level. We can talk some more about what might happen with the modified level students. Golf is not started yet. And baseball and softball is scheduled to start on, it's May 2nd, I believe. May 1st or May 2nd was when they would start. So you're going to see some appointments later on in the agenda. You'll notice the appointments have that clause at the end that says, I'll set the effective date, and if I don't, then it's null. That's in there just so that if something changes in the world, and we're not allowed to have the teams, the appointments don't take effect, and therefore the Booster Club would still have those funds available for whatever's next that they might need to try to help us fund. BOCE's annual meeting and budget presentation, I sent that information out. Later on, I put tentatively on our agenda a motion to put some people up for possible election to that board. I don't know that we have any members that want to, but I wanted to make sure I put it on there so we can have a discussion about it if we need to. And I just need to know if folks are going to go. I know some people have responded, so if you have responded, we're good. If you haven't responded, I wanted to give you one last chance to respond to Toby on that so she can send in our registration for that event. Again, it's not a required meeting, but we have had board members go in the past. And there was one other piece that I didn't put on there, but the Adirondack Area School Boards Association, that was also sent out to everybody. And if you're interested in going, same thing, you'd have to RSVP to Toby. And that is a virtual meeting, but you're also able to go in person if you'd like. And they do have a sit-down dinner option. And those reservations are due by Wednesday, March 10th. So this Wednesday, if you want to go, so we can get it in there. I'm happy to go with anybody who wants to attend. That's what I had, Tom. You are muted, my friend.
I try never to fall for that. Any questions for Dan before we move on? Okay. Treasury report, we got that during Finance Committee meeting. If anyone has a question for Charlene, she still is on. If you review the reports and have a question, but it's all in our packets. And again, we meet half hour before every board, and the entire board is invited to those pre-meetings. Okay, Mr. Glarno's not available because he's down in the athletic stuff. So
yeah, there is a written report. We'll send it out to you. He was highlighting some events in the elementary school. If you'll indulge me just for another minute or two, I'll breeze through his report really quickly. He was highlighting the Parents as Reading Partner event that's been going on here in school. And if you have an elementary student, you've heard tons about that. And thanks to the staff members who put that on each year for our young people. 100th day celebration. If you're on our social media, you saw some of those photos coming across, especially our kindergarten class and their hallway parade. And one of my favorites, and I want to pop it up here real quick. Are you seeing the International Bazaar stuff now, folks?
Yes.
So I know it's tough to see it this way, but I'm going to send you out the link to all of this. This is one of my favorite things that occurs here in elementary school every year. And as you know, we usually have a ton of people in here for this event down in the cafeteria. It couldn't happen that way this year. Our students and our teachers for our students worked on a way for it to happen. So there was a nice little parade that went around. It's out on our social media now. I think it was posted this morning. So a lot of work being done by our teachers and some great products being put out by our students through these projects. So I just wanted to bring your attention to that. And so did John. And then he had for the high school, he was talking about the athletics. And lastly, for the high school, the third quarter progress reports are going out at the end of this week. So that was his update, but we'll send it to you so you have it. You have the whole thing.
Dan, just one question, if you can speak to Mr. Glarno about regarding the postings for the second quarter student achievement recognition. We don't know that they've been posted yet, so if they can get up there, that'd be awesome.
No, I definitely saw a correspondence between him and Mr. Glarno and Mr. Herman today, so you should be seeing those pushing out across the website and social media accounts. Right. I definitely saw that today or over the weekend.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. The buildings and ground report. I don't know that Craig's with us this evening.
Craig, are you on? So I did speak with him last Friday. Oh, Mr. Herman jumped in. They'll be posted in the morning, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Herman.
Yep. So Craig, last week we were talking about buildings and grounds. He didn't have anything at this time. I do have something that affects buildings and grounds to speak with the board about an executive session, as it has to do with the employment of specific individuals and negotiations with an entity. But at this point, he didn't have a report, so we can move on from there.
Okay, great. Discussion items. The calendar.
Yeah, so in your packet, you should have found a document from the State Education Department that talked about calendars, and it talked about the Juneteenth holiday. And I just wanted to let the board know that we are going to be, I'm going to be asking next month for the board to make an amendment to the school calendar and recognize that holiday this year. I also wanted to let you know that it will be recognized, and the BOCES approve their calendar for next year with that holiday included. So it'll be included in next year's calendar. So I just wanted to make the board aware of that you're going to see it both as an amendment to this year's calendar, and you're going to see it as part of next year's calendar. Next year's calendar I'm working on. I need to speak with the members of the Teachers Association as it's been the past practice to do so prior to bringing it out to the board and to the public. So wanted you to be aware of that. And then progress to tenure reports. We have done those in March previously. We're going to be doing it. The next board meeting, Mr. Glarno will do progress to tenure report for specific individuals. And certainly we're going to do those in an executive session, as you all know. I didn't want you to think that we weren't going to take care of those progress to tenure reports as we have been for the last 5 years. That's what I had for discussion. I'm welcome to any feedback or discussion about those two things, the Juneteenth holiday or the progress to tenure reports from any board members.
Anything? All right, folks, moving on. Okay. Can I get a motion for consent agenda A, B, and C?
Motion.
Anita? Anyone? Any discussion?
Who was second? I missed that.
Ella is the second.
Okay.
Yep. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 I need to abstain. I wasn't at February's meeting, so I can't okay the minutes.
Okay, I'll abstain.
The other two are fine.
Any no's? Okay, we're all
So
good.
that makes us 5-0-1, correct, Toby?
Yeah. Well, that's just squeaking by, right? All right.
5-0-1.
No action on that. A motion to accept the donation from the Fort Edward Booster Club in the amount of $14,441 and to amend the 2020-2021 school budget to reflect the donation and expenditure of those donated funds. The Booster Club is making the donation to support the offering of athletic and extracurricular activities for Fort Edward students. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
I think I got James and Todd. Any discussion?
Again,
Except
thank you. And how grateful we are.
Thank you very much for that donation. Again, they keep doing it, so it's awesome. And thank you to the community as well. The community is contributing to that, and the Booster Club is doing a great job of raising those funds. So thank you. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. I believe we are unanimous. Okay. All right. Motion to approve the 3-year contract with New Meadows School for the lease of classroom and office space for the 2020, 2021, and 21-22 and 22-23 school years.
Motion.
Anita.
Second.
Ella. Any discussion? Well, thanks to New Meadow for committing to us for that time. That revenue is certainly appreciated. Thanks, Dan, for working your magic and in those numbers for us and all that stuff. So good job to everyone involved, and we welcome them certainly. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I believe we're all good. Okay, unanimous. Okay. Motion to approve the 4-month, March 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2021 contract with New Meadows School for the lease of 1 additional therapy space.
Motion.
James.
Seconded.
Anita. Any discussion? Dan, so that's an expansion of their leasing space, yeah?
That's
Right.
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
No revenue there. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I believe we're unanimous again. All right. Motion to approve the MOA between the district and Fort Edward Teachers Association concerning the prorating of coaching stipends for the 2020-2021 COVID-adjusted winter sports season.
You okay, Jay?
Oh my God.
Is that you motioning there?
Yeah, James made the motion.
Okay. I need a second.
I'll second that.
Simple show of hands will do instead of a coughing fit. Okay, Todd.
I think we have 6.
I was choking out.
Yeah, it was.
We do.
It was
There's
501, and now it's been 606060.
60. Okay, I just want to make sure. I thought so.
So it's James and Todd. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone abstaining or any noes? Okay, we're all good. Motion to approve the MOA between the district and the Fort Edward Teachers Association concerning the prorating of coaching stipends for the 2020-2021 COVID-adjusted fall 2 and spring sports seasons. Twister. Need a motion.
Motion.
Mr. Carroll.
Motion.
Anita. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Is that everyone? Any abstention or noes? Abstaining, I should say. No. All right, we're good. Unanimous. Okay. Motion to approve athletic mergers for soccer, golf, cross country at all levels between the Fort Edward Union Free School District and the Argyle Central School District for the 2021-2022 school year.
Motion.
Anita.
Second.
Joseph. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. I saw all those hands up. Great. And thank you to Argyle for helping us out with that stuff. Awesome. Okay. All right. Personnel. I need a motion.
Only if we've got somebody who wants to be on. Is there anybody on the board interested in running for the BOCES board?
Michael spoke highly of it, right?
He definitely did. It
was a great experience for him.
Could be a good experience for you, Todd.
Yeah. We had a member on that board for.
Could be a good experience for you.
Yeah.
I'm done in 3 months.
I nominate James Donahue.
I respectfully decline, but thank you very much.
So I would say, seeing no one with a burning interest to do so, I would say we move on.
Yeah, we have had someone on that board though for what, a quarter of a century, I think.
A long time.
We had representation for a long time. Okay. Let's see. Motion to appoint. Am I right? Motion to appoint Jeff Durkee to the position of varsity boys baseball coach for the 2020-2021 school year at a rate of salary as negotiated with the FETA using available donations. The effective date of the appointment shall be set by the superintendent and communicated to the employee in writing. The superintendent does not set an effective date. The BOE appointment shall be considered null. I need a motion.
Motion.
Anita.
Second.
Mr. Carroll. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to just say aye here based on Christina being here. We need 5, correct?
We do need 5. Yes, we need 5.
What do we have right now? Can I abstain, or is that? Do you have 5 right now without me? With me abstaining.
If everyone else is
abstaining.
Yeah, so you can abstain, Todd. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have 5 yeses. Is that correct? No one else is abstaining. No. Okay. All right. So it passes. Let's see. Motion to appoint Lorinda Huntington to the position of varsity girls softball coach for the 2020-2021 school year. The rate of salary is negotiated with the FETA using available donations. The effective date of the appointment shall be set by the superintendent and communicated to the employee in writing. If the superintendent does not set an effective date, the BOE appointment shall be considered null. Need a motion.
Motion.
We got Joe and James on that one. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're all good. So talk to me about D. Are we not? We're skipping over D.
Yep.
E.
Yeah. So right now, I put D and E on there in the case that I received some interest. Right now, we don't have anybody for those positions. A long-standing coach has let me know that they're unable to take that on due to the workload that has increased for them through the pandemic based on their full-time job. So we've got a couple of positions there. We've got some time. Again, the earliest that varsity baseball can even start is at May 1. So we've got some time there, but I wanted the board to be aware that we've got some open positions as of right now.
Speculation on numbers, Dan?
Yeah, so it's also going to be based on how many numbers we have. It could be the case where, and again, this is total speculation at this point, maybe we won't be able to field a JV and a modified baseball team at that point. Certainly I'd be looking at an individual who might be appointed as a JV coach here and a couple more motions down the page and say, hey, are you willing to do the modified? So it could work out, but right now I put on what we normally appoint for the spring athletics so that the board would see where we had some possible openings. In the end, if we don't have enough student athletes, certainly we're not going to hire coaches to coach teams that don't have enough athletes to compete.
Okay, let's hope we get some folks in there. All right. F, motion to appoint Jeff Durkee to the position of modified football coach for the 2020-2021 school year at a rate of salary as negotiated with the FETA using available donations. The effective date of the appointment shall be set by the superintendent and communicated to the employee in writing. The superintendent does not set an effective date. The BOE appointment shall be considered null. I need a motion.
Motion.
Anita.
Motion.
Mr. Carroll. Any discussion?
Yeah, Dan, how's that going to work? Is that going to be with Corinth, or is that going to be?
Yeah, so right now it is not with Corinth, and we are concerned about our participation numbers and being able to compete. So that's why you see on the agenda appointments for both coaching appointments and then intramural advisors. And that way we have the flexibility to go in whatever direction is needed to provide whatever we can provide for our student athletes.
Okay, answers that.
Okay, we have the two motions discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Everyone good?
501.
501. I was going to abstain, yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Okay, so motion to appoint Jeff Durkee to the position of intramural football advisor. The 2020-21 school year, the rate of salary is negotiated with the FETA using available donations. Effective date of the appointment shall be set by the superintendent, communicated to the employee in writing. Superintendent does not set an effective date. The BOE appointment shall be considered null. Need a motion.
Motion.
Joseph.
Motion.
Yeah, you guys are busy tonight. All right. Chris isn't here. That's why. Any discussion on that one? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. I imagine Todd's going to abstain.
Thank you.
501. Okay. Motion to appoint Mike Sullivan to the position of assistant varsity football coach for the 2020-2021 school year as an unpaid volunteer. The effective date of the appointment shall be set by the superintendent and communicated to the employee in writing. The superintendent does not set an effective date. The BOE appointment shall be considered null. Need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Todd.
Second.
Joe. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I just wanted to take 1 second and say thank you to Coach Sullivan, for volunteering his time to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Motion to appoint Amelia Taylor to the position of assistant girls volleyball coach for the 2020-2021 school year as an unpaid volunteer. The effective date of the appointment shall be set by the superintendent, communicated to the employee in writing. Superintendent does not set an effective date. The BOE appointment shall be considered null.
Motion.
Second.
James and Joe. The legacy's going on and on. That's awesome. That's great. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're all good. Okay.
I want to say the same thing. Thank you to Amelia for volunteering her time to work with our students.
Yes. And just in case, a motion to appoint Amelia Taylor to the position of intramural volleyball advisor for the 2020-2021 school year at a rate of salary as negotiated with the FETA using available donations. The effective date of the appointment shall be set by the superintendent, communicated to the employee in writing. If the superintendent does not set an effective date, the BOE appointment shall be considered null.
Motion.
Anita. Joe. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are all good. Okay. Motion to appoint Paige Toomey to the position of intramural basketball advisor for the 2020-2020 school year at a rate of salaries negotiated with the FETA using available donations. The effective date of the appointment shall be set by the superintendent and communicated to the employee in writing. If the superintendent does not set an effective date, BOE appointment shall be considered null. Need a motion.
Motion here.
Second.
Anita. Any discussion other than to thank Paige for stepping up too?
Yep. Thank you, Paige, as well.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Is this right, Dan? Motion to appoint John intramural. We're doing an intramural now.
Yeah. So as you may recall, we didn't have enough student athletes sign up to have modified teams, and therefore, when we did intramurals, you can't mix boys and girls on modified teams.
Right.
We run an intramural, you can mix boys and girls, which gave us enough so that both the boys and girls could participate. So we had 2 intramural advisors, Paige and John. So these are in place of what would have been modified coaching positions. But since I never gave them a start date on their coaching appointments, those are considered null. So these cover the work that they've been doing over the last several weeks with our 7th and 8th grade boys and girls for the sport of basketball.
Yeah, we saw some pictures, man. That's great to see them in there playing. It's great they had that opportunity, so we appreciate it, Mr. Boucher, for sure. Motion to appoint John Boucher to the position of intramural basketball advisor for the 2020-2021 school year. The rate of salary is negotiated with the FETA using available donations. The effective date of the appointment shall be set by the superintendent, communicated to the employee in writing. If the superintendent does not set an effective date, the BOE appointment shall be considered null. Need a motion.
Motion.
Todd and Anita. Any discussion on that one? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
And so there's this next item is the one that was not on your agenda that you had. It came to me. I had omitted it from the original agenda, so I apologize for that. Mrs. Huntington was checking through my agenda and let me know that I had omitted it. So if the board's not okay to do it now, we've got time. We could do it next month. I'm at our April meeting. If the board is okay to move forward at this time, then it's on the agenda that's on the screen right now for you.
Yeah, I'm going to put it out there. I'm just going to grab my magnifying glass here. Hold on. Motion to approve Jeff Tully to the position of JV boys basketball coach for the 2020-2021 school year. The rate of salary as negotiated with the FETA using available donations. The effective date, the appointment shall be set by the superintendent and commiserate to the employee and communicated to the employee in writing. If the superintendent does not set an effective date, the BOE appointment shall be considered null. I need a motion.
Motion here.
Todd.
Second.
Ella. Any discussion?
That was for baseball, right? I think you said basketball. I just want to make sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's definitely for baseball.
Yeah, sorry, my eyes. Okay, that's baseball.
Dan, again, the overlapping time. He'll be doing football.
They don't overlap. So it's a hard stop on football and then the spring sports stop. And the reason for that was because everybody involved across Section 2 in our league wanted to really protect the spring sports this year because those were the ones where student athletes did not get to participate at all last year. So it's a hard stop for football, and then baseball starts the next day.
All right, just want to maintain the integrity, make sure all those kids have the same opportunity to start the same day and roll. Okay.
All right. So we have the motion.
You've got a motion in a second. You just need to vote.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Everyone's good? Okay. Unanimous. All right. All right. Toby, do we have communicated with you for a second public comment?
No, there is no one.
Okay. I do see that the virtual Bazaar meeting notes are in the chat. And a link there from Todd. Okay. All right. So as we have no comment, I need a motion to enter into executive session to discuss matters referring to negotiations with a specific entity, as well as the employment of specific individuals.
Motion.
Anita.
Second.
Joe.
Let's see. Board of Education members and other individuals invited into executive session are reminded that all matters discussed during executive session must be kept in the strictest confidence. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Excellent. I will send you a link for the executive session. Then for anybody who's here from the public, I'll stop the recording now, and then we will come back to this meeting, and I'll restart the recording, and we'll adjourn the meeting from this public side. Do not expect that the board will take any action after executive session, but certainly the board is able to do so if they wish. So again, I'll stop the recording now, and we'll see everybody back out here when we're done with the executive session. Thank you so much.
See you on the other side. All right. We need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Now, James and Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Excellent. 6-0-0. Have a good night, everybody.
Good
night,
everyone.
See ya.
Best of luck.
Good luck, Daniel.